Welcome to this journey through the timeless words of W.E.B Du Bois, a scholar, activist, and visionary, whose ideas shaped the fight for civil rights and equality. In this video, we'll further explore some of his most impactful quotes, offering insight into his thoughts on race, education, leadership, and the human condition. Let's go. 1. Negroes could be sold, actually sold as we sell cattle, with no reference to calves or bulls or recognition of family. It was a nasty business. The white South was properly ashamed of it, and continually belittled and almost denied it. But it was a stark and bitter fact. Du Bois confronts the brutal reality of chattel slavery in America, specifically the dehumanization of black people, who were treated as property with no regard for their humanity or family bonds. There was a complete disregard for the enslaved as people with families, emotions, and rights. There is also a tendency for whites to downplay, deny, or sanitize the history of chattel slavery, despite its horrific reality. True understanding and reconciliation with the past require honesty and acceptance of this brutal history. There is a moral obligation to acknowledge the harsh realities rather than erase them. Society must confront uncomfortable historical truths about slavery without attempting to downplay or sanitize them, recognizing the full impact of that history on individuals and families. 2. There was not a single Negro slave owner who did not know dozens of Negroes just as capable of learning and efficiency as the mass of poor white people around and about, and some quite as capable as the average slaveholder. They had continually, in the course of the history of slavery, recognized such men. This critiques a system that saw black people as inferior while knowing, on some level, that it was untrue. Slave owners were aware of capable and intelligent black people in their midst, many of whom could have rivaled or surpassed their white counterparts in skill or efficiency. This shows a deep irony and hypocrisy within chattel slavery, where recognized talents and human qualities in black people were systematically dismissed or constrained because of their race. 3. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, of measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amused contempt and pity. The concept of double consciousness was coined by W.E.B Du Bois to describe the experience of black Americans who are constantly aware of how society views them while maintaining their self-identity. It is the discomfort and emotional burden of seeing oneself through two conflicting perspectives. Black people must reconcile their own self-worth with the demeaning view imposed and held by a racially biased society. The quotes also recognize the societal standards and judgments that black people are forced to measure themselves against, even when those standards are biased or degrading. In other words, racism does not just affect how black people are treated, but also how they may come to view themselves. 4. To be a poor man is hard, but to be a poor race in a land of dollars is the very bottom of hardships. While poverty itself is challenging, being poor within a wealthy and racially stratified society presents unique and compounding hardships. When poverty intersects with racial marginalization, it places the community at the very bottom. In such a society, not only do the poor face financial barriers, but when they belong to a historically marginalized race, they also endure systemic inequities, limited opportunities, and discrimination that exacerbate their struggle. Essentially, racial identity can intensify the difficulties of poverty, especially in a world where material success is often equated with worth and where opportunities are unevenly distributed. 5. There is but one coward on earth, and that is the coward that dare not know. By equating cowardice with ignorance, we learn that courage isn't just about physical bravery, but about intellectual honesty and moral integrity, where we have the strength to understand and act upon truths. True bravery is found in the willingness to seek knowledge, even when it is uncomfortable. Thank you for joining us in exploring the profound wisdom of W.E.B Du Bois. If you found his insights inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the voices shaping history. Until next time, stay inspired.